We're back vlogging. Welcome back to another vlog. I contemplated even if I should start this vlog with my hair like this, but I was like, no, I don't start my days waking up with nice hair or with makeup on, so I'm not, I mean, let me not say that, because there will be vlogs where I don't start on a morning and I do wait until I'm ready to begin it, but I want this vlog to be just like a very real and raw vlog. I'm going to take you through my day. I've got a busy work day today. I've got check-ins to do, which I feel like I've time-lapsed me doing check-ins so many times. Do I need to do it again? Probably not, but will I? Probably, yes. I want to go and get a chair today. We'll see if I get the chair. If I get the chair, I will update you in this video, but essentially I went into Anthropologie yesterday, right? And there is a chair in there which I have been seeing for the past 12 months, and every time I go in I'm like, oh, that's a lovely bloody chair, but it's like £1,700. I'm not paying that for a fucking chair. Like, no way, Jose. I like nice things. Do you know what, that's so funny, because I would pay that for something so much smaller, like a silly little bag, but I'm not paying that for a chair. Anyway, went in yesterday. They've put all the furniture, because it's been on display for so long, they've put it all on sale, and the chair is like £400. That's still expensive. I know that's expensive for a chair, but this chair, I've scoured the internet to see if I can find anything similar, and it's a buccal chair, so it's a little bit basic bitch, but it's so like unique in the way that it looks. It's not like any other buccal chair that I've seen, and I want it. So I've asked my mum if I can keep it at their house, and she said okay. So I am actually going to go and get that chair today. If it's still there, it's meant to be. I'm going to hit legs with you guys today. I've got a leg day to do. What else am I going to do in this vlog? I'm basically just going to take you through my day, but I wanted to just start my vlog off here. I've got quite a lot of updates, just some things I want to catch you guys up to speed on. Yeah, basically I just wanted to have like a normal fitnessy themed vlog with some life updates and potentially a new bloody chair. But yeah, I am gonna get on with some work now. I'm gonna do a big work block this morning, so then I've got the rest of the day to just vlog, spend some quality time with the girls. I have got some deliveries which have just come in. I've just been doing some check-ins, but I thought I would unbox it with you all, because I've actually got some Alphalete orders, which is quite literally insane, I know, but sometimes what I will do with Alphalete things is people want me to get certain items for review purposes, but it's not necessarily my cup of tea. So then when the launch is done, I will buy from the launch the pieces or the colourways that I would prefer, and then I'll give away the things that I got for the review, if that makes sense. So they had a sale at the weekend, so I did pick up some pieces that would definitely more me than some of the pieces I've currently got from certain drops, so that I can give those away and have pieces that I will get more use out of in certain colourways. But then also, if in the future someone wants to know if I've got a certain product, I still have that product, if that makes sense, for review purposes. The first thing I've ordered is actually an Amazon order, and I got bamboo whisk and a like matcha mixing bowl set because I've actually ordered some matcha, which did come yesterday. It's the Genki one. Genki, they have like a matcha bar in Selfridges in London, and they've got a standalone store as well. But basically, I've also ordered a blueberry syrup because I'm gonna try and make my own Blank Street blueberry matcha, but I didn't have any matcha stuff. So basically, this is a big old matcha haul. So this is to hold the whisk on, I believe. This box smells really weird. This is the one that I got. I'll leave it linked below. But this one just looks really like aesthetically appealing. Like, I don't know. My mum and dad are gonna be like, since I'm moving back home soon, my mum and dad are gonna be like, girl, they've got so many kitchen appliances. They've knowing my dad, he actually probably already owns a bamboo whisk, but then this is my bamboo whisk that I ordered, and then it goes like that. So that's how it stands up, and that's my little matcha set. Okay, moving on to Alphalete packages. So 2 of these are mine, I think, and then one of them I ordered the Origin sweats for one of my friends from my Discord, Nikki. I think these are her Origin sweats. Yes, they are. So I'm actually just going to leave these in the bag because she was away when the sale went live and she was worrying that she wasn't going to be able to get them. So I said, girl, don't even worry about it. I got you. So I just ordered those for her. One of the lucky people that was able to get the baby tees in the smaller sizes. These were my favourite item in the birthday sale drop. So I decided that I preferred an extra small. So I've actually ordered every colour I didn't have in an extra small, and I've also ordered my ash grey one in an extra small as well. So I'm just going to give away the size small. So I got the black, I got the sort of off-white colour, and then I got the ash colour again. So these are all in an extra small, and I'm going to wear the shit out of these. I'll probably actually end up wearing one of these to the gym today. Bag is another one of my orders. So I got some more socks because I really like these. They're like the tag ones. I like the stitched ones as well, but I've realised I really like the height of these, and I don't actually have as many of those. So I ordered some more of those. I got the Aura Shrugs in Smoke and Oak because I wanted to get those, so I made sure that I picked those up. I actually get myself a backup pair of sand contour shorts because if mine break, I will be so sad. So I got myself a good old backup pair of sand shorts. This was actually my most sold item in the birthday sale, and you know what? I've never been prouder of the girls for stocking up on sand. I won't open these, but I got 4 pairs of contour shorts to give away to people that couldn't afford to shop the sale. So that is what is in this bag, but that's my little haul. I think now I'm gonna finish listening to this podcast, which is Mike Thurston podcast. I don't usually listen to these because I'm not a huge fan of some of the guests, but he's got the finance expert on, who is one of my favourite finance people to watch on YouTube, and it's a woman, which makes me just love it even more. So I'm listening to that, and I'm gonna get dressed because I feel like I look a little bit of a mess. And then I'm gonna try and go get this chair, guys. I'm gonna go to Anthropologie. Hopefully they've still got it. If they don't have it, it just wasn't meant to be, but I'm really hoping they've still got the chair in there. Very quick change. I've got my favourite hoodie on. This hoodie is so fucking good. It's a Berlin brand, but you can now get them in the UK. 10 out of 10 recommend. Like, honestly, insane quality. Like, and the fit is insane. Like, this hoodies, the hood alone probably weighs more than your current favourite hoodie. It's heavy, having said that, so you might not like it if you don't like heavy. But yeah, I'm gonna go and see if I can get me little paws on the chair now. But I'm just gonna put a bit more perfume on because I'm trying out new perfumes this week. I'm doing a little series on Instagram. I do have a highlight over there now for fragrance because I speak about it the more I get asked about it, and I love fragrance. And Dan met someone on a night out and she was like, oh, I work for a perfume company, I'll send you some samples. She sent us a box of Initio, I don't know how you say it, and Parfums de Marly. Like, girl, you don't work for a perfume company, you work for the perfume company. So I'm every single day trying a different one. Some of them I've tried before. So yesterday I did Side Effect. I'm 100% gonna have to buy a full bottle of that at some point. I love it. It's so rich. Today I'm doing one I've not actually tried for like a full day of wearing before, which is Psychedelic Love. I'm not a huge fan so far. I think this is more something my sister would like because it's quite floral, and I think like typical floral I don't really like. It's definitely got more, it's more interesting than just like a flowery scent, but when I smell it I think, oh, if I smelled that on my sister I'd really like it, but it's not really my favourite. But yeah, Instagram, I'm doing like a series on there, so you can go and check that out. But yeah, I've got my new Alphalete socks on, and let's go see if we can get this chair, guys, because the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, this is a smart financial decision. Hopefully the chair is still there. Okay, I know the suspense is killing you. Did she get the chair? Did she not get the chair? I got the chair. I got the chair. The lady, because I was like, I don't know how we do delivery with the, I've never bought furniture before, so I don't know how these things work, as stupid as that might sound to some people. So I was like, how does delivery work? They don't deliver if you buy it in store, but they have a person that they recommend. So I've texted him and he's okay to deliver it. So I'm gonna go, she's keeping it for me until tomorrow night. So I'm gonna go either today or tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna pay for it, but she's reserved it, so the chair is mine. So yeah, I have a chair. That's the first piece of furniture I've ever bought, which is really exciting. So I'm about to go to the gym. As you've seen, I've just put my gym fit on. I really like this gym outfit. I'm quads and glutes today, which is like one of my shorter sessions, which I like to try and do on a Wednesday, because Wednesday is my busier check-in day. So I want to go to the gym on that day to get some movement in, but I don't like to do, for example, my glutes and hamstrings day takes me quite a while, so I don't like to do that session on that day because I don't like rushing it. I don't like having to cut my rest time short. So yeah, I'm going to do my shortest leg day today. Before that, pre-workout. So I had a matcha on my way back. My favourite matcha to get in Leeds is from Black Sheep. I get a matcha latte with oat milk and 1 pump of vanilla, and it honestly tastes like a Victoria sponge cake. There's something about matcha that tastes like cake to me. Like the blueberry blank street tastes like a blueberry muffin. The vanilla matcha tastes like a Victoria sponge cake. And I do have matcha now, but I don't know how to make it properly yet. The matcha is really expensive. The bag was 40 great British, well, £39.99. 40 great British pounds, and I don't want to waste it when I don't know what I'm doing. So that's why I went and bought one. So that's obviously going to give me a little bit of energy, and then I'm going to make a pre-workout, and I have a new favourite. I feel like every single time I'm doing these videos now, I'm like, I've got a new favourite pre-workout. But genuinely, I do, and I'm going to try a little combination which I've not done yet. So my least favourite pump flavour from Ghost is the pineapple one. I do like it, but I have to mix it with my sour strips because otherwise for me it's just a bit too sweet. I need something that's a little bit sour. This pink lemonade pump, I'm not joking, this dead ass tastes like Morrison's pink lemonade, like the budget one, but like not in a bad way, because that tastes absolutely delicious. Like this tastes so fucking good. Like, oh, that's just gone up my nose. Like, this tastes phenomenal. The pump, by the way, because I get asked about this all the time, it won't give you energy, it doesn't have caffeine in it, and it won't give you itches, it doesn't have beta alanine in it, but it will. It's got like nitric oxide and all the stuff that gives you a good pump. But also, to make sure that it works as well as it can, you want to make sure you're drinking a good amount of water. So I'm going to mix this now, and I'm going to pop in a little bit of my sour strips Legend for a little bit of energy and a little bit of tingles, just a little bit, nothing crazy, but I just want to do a little bit just to see how it tastes. So I've got a glass here. I do a full scoop of the pump. Honestly guys, this taste is phenomenal. If I would recommend that you only get one flavour of pre-workout from any brand, because I've actually tried multiple, would be this pink lemonade one. Like, it's fire. It's actually fire. I've got the greens as well, and they're just so good. I don't know what it is. They're just really good. Do not put in a big amount of this. If you put in a big amount of this, like I've said before, you got something seriously not quite right. I've heard of people doing double scoops of Legend. my skin would fall off. I would itch the skin off the surface of my muscles and bones. I would be bald. Guys, I'm honestly so excited about the chair. You've got no idea. Like, that's really bringing me quite a bit of joy. Not even gonna lie. Okay, this is the colour. Cheers. Just as I suspected, those flavours together, 10 out of 10. Honestly, like, I've been feeling quite sad recently, which I will explain. I'm gonna do like a bit of a, I'll probably speak to you after the gym. I was gonna speak to you about it before, but I feel like it's gonna put me in a bad mood and then my session's gonna be bad. So yeah, but I don't want this video to be like all doom and gloom. So I'm trying to like, I feel like I've picked a good day to film, to be honest, because the chair has really lifted my spirits, and it sounds so stupid because it's a fucking chair, but it will become very clear why the chair is actually making me happy. Like, I'll speak to you about after the gym, but I'm feeling quite emotional about moving back home, and I feel like little things like buying the chair is making me feel a little bit better about it in a weird way. But yeah, I won't bore you with that now. We'll speak about that after the gym, shall we? I'm gonna drink this pre, get my gym bag, and I'll see you at the gym. Quads and glutes. Okay, let's get into this quad and glute session. So I'm starting off with a warm-up set for hip thrusts before going into heavier ones. So I'm using 100 kilos here, and what I want you to pay attention to is like the speed of my reps, how my face looks, how everything looks on a warm-up set. This is a warm-up set. You do not want to be pushing yourself anywhere near close to failure. You're just trying to warm up your muscles. And then I went into a working set. This was my final working set. So I was doing, I think, 130 kilos, I want to say. And you can tell as I get towards the end of this set, which we are slowly but surely approaching, you can see that my reps really start to slow down and almost like break down a little bit. On the final rep, the next one, I almost don't get it to the top. So if you look, I almost didn't lock it out properly. You need to be locking out your hip thrust properly all the way to the top so the rep counts. Moving on, I then went and did some dumbbell step-ups. This is one of my favourite movements. I like to do them so that I've got something I can hold on to so that I can really focus on pushing my hip back. As you'll see, I'm really like coming down sort of diagonal, trying to keep my shin as vertical as possible so that I am biasing at my glutes a little bit more, rather than, for example, pushing my knee. Got confused then. Rather than, for example, pushing my knee right over my toe, trying to keep my shin more vertical and really focusing on sinking back in the movement. And again, even with what some people might deem like lighter weight work, pushing myself. You can see I'm trying to get that last rep and I couldn't get it. I am then moving on to the other leg, which I always like to include in these videos because my ass looked fat as hell just then. Now she's giving slightly less plump. I mean, she's still in the room, but just remember, if you ever go to film your own workouts and you think, why don't I look like my favourite influencer? If you're trying to film from the opposite side, it never looks as good. I'm just saying. I mean, I still look great, but it never looks quite as good. Finished with those now, and then moving on to, I absolutely love these heel elevated goblet squats. I love these for my quads. I do these slow as hell, super controlled. The main mistake that I see people making with this is like really bouncing at the bottom and doing the reps really, really, really fast and like banging off their calves almost at the bottom, like booting their hamstrings off their calves to help them come up. No, you want to be really, really engaging your quads to help you push back up. I absolutely love doing these. It's one of my favourite quad movements. It absolutely tears up my quads. One of my favourite movements for sure. Then I decided to switch it up this day. So glute medius kickbacks aren't actually in my programme at the moment, but I felt like doing them, so I hit some glute medius kickbacks. I will put like proper sets and reps and stuff in the description box, but I typically do like 2 to 3 sets on a movement. Rep ranges I vary, but I don't pay too much attention to reps. As long as it's over 6 and I'm pushing close to failure, I don't pay a ton of attention on the specific number. Like if I do 7 or 9 and not an even number, not the end of the world. So yeah, kicking back and diagonally out, sort of like if you ordered Domino's pizza, the diagonal slice basically. And then finally, I finished off with some leggy extensions. I absolutely love these. I feel like since I started putting the same amount of effort into my leg extensions and my hamstring curls and stuff that I do, my hip thrust for example, my overall leg development has gone crazy. I mean, you can see my hamstrings when I'm doing my hip thrust now, which is insane. And again, pushing myself really, really, really hard with these. If you struggle with mind to muscle connection, instead of just flinging the weight up, focus on squeezing your quads to bring the pad up. But yeah, that was my quads and glute session. She's a pretty short one, but very effective. Okay, so I'm finished with the gym now. So like I said before I went to the gym, I think I'm going to voice over that workout, which you'll have already seen, so I don't know why I'm going to explain that again. But I just wanted to just have an open and honest chat, because I updated you guys during Vlogmas about some pretty... I realise there are much bigger fish to fry in the world, guys. This is major first world problems, and the issues that I'm having are sort of like because I've made a choice, if that makes sense. So it's not like forced upon me, and I'm very conscious that I don't want to get into like a, oh my god, I'm such a victim mindset, because I don't believe I am. There's actually quite a lot to catch you up on. So first things first, we had the Alphalete birthday sale last week. Now, you guys know I really pour into my Alphalete hauls. I love doing them. I hope it's clear by the length of them. Like, they're not that long because I just can't be asked to edit them. They're that long because I just love speaking about the product, and like I just really like to go as in-depth as possible. It's actually takes me a very, 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 very long time to edit them, and believe it or not, there's a lot of stuff that I do cut out of them. I feel like since I got back from Texas, I've not really seen my friends properly. The first time I actually saw my mum and dad properly, like not just like a flying visit, was Sunday just gone, and I've been back for nearly like 4 weeks. And I don't know if I've ever spoken, I don't know if I spoke about it properly on YouTube, but last year I got really poorly towards the end of the year. And by the way, this is no fault of anyone else's, it is my own fault. This is not Alphalete. Like, Alphalete don't put the pressure on me, although obviously there is a pressure there because you do need to perform well for them, but I do put a lot of pressure on myself, like a lot of pressure. And I love what I do. I'm not complaining about my job in any way, shape or form. I am, however, acknowledging that I don't think when the workload is a lot higher, especially around sales and stuff, like I'm on my phone from like 7 AM until I stop working. And I love what I do. I'm really, really, really not complaining. I'm conscious of this coming off like I'm complaining, because I'm not. I am just pointing it out for myself. And I know there's a lot of people, it doesn't matter what line of work you're in, if you are someone who puts a lot of pressure on yourself, you can make even what might be like an easy job, you can make it 10 times harder for yourself. My job is by no means difficult. My job is probably in the top 3 of the easiest in the world, and I'm very lucky and I love what I do. I do put a lot of pressure on myself, and like to the point where I think Black Friday was the worst it's ever been, because I got all my stuff so late and I was so stressed. Like, I will pop in a picture which I never thought I would share, but I took this picture to remind myself to not get in that state again. I just got back from Dubai and Turkey, and in Turkey, obviously that was when Dan decided, like, he got his job contract through, so that was when I was working in Turkey as well. That wasn't a holiday, I was fully working, and obviously Dan had decided, well, he'd got his contract through, so then that was always in the back of my mind. And then I came back straight to, like, obviously Dan starting the process of moving to Dubai, Black Friday straight in, because I only had like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks when I got back for Black Friday. All my stuff came in late, and I remember filming my lookbook for Black Friday, and obviously my face isn't in it when I do my lookbook. I was like hysterically crying. I felt so poorly, I felt so stressed, I felt really, really, really anxious about all the life changes I had coming up, and I just didn't give myself a break at all from pretty much landing in Turkey to the end of Black Friday. Ended up getting really poorly, got really, really, really stressed. And the thing is, like, my job is such like a privilege of a job that I don't want to end up becoming one of those people that like complains about it. So I just need to sort myself out, because I don't want to get like that again. And I can see, like, with the birthday sale and stuff, like, I really do put a lot of pressure on myself to do a lot for it, and to also be really speedy with it, but also in depth and thorough, but also as quick as possible. And I find that, like, trying to balance that with my coaching as well, because I don't speak about that too much anymore, but if you watch my vlogs you will know, sorry, that's really annoying me because I feel like it's just nudged down, but if you watch my vlogs you will know, have never felt fully, because what I do is so like temperamental, I've never felt fully comfortable to just do social media, and I don't think I would want to either, because I get a lot of fulfillment. I love what I do with social media, but I do get a lot of fulfillment and less stress with coaching, and I really enjoy what I do, and I enjoy helping people one-to-one. What I do can be quite lonely, and that sort of helps me feel a little bit less lonely with things. But I feel like I need to stop putting so much on my plate sometimes, because then I don't end up seeing like family or friends for like weeks on end. Like literally weeks on end. Like I've not seen my friend Alicia in like since before Christmas, which is really, really, really bad, and I don't want to be not seeing my friends. Like I feel like that's really, really, really important. And yeah, basically just sort of trying to find a better balance with work and life, because I am definitely struggling with that at the moment. And obviously the second thing is, which I wanted to update you guys on, here's the thing, right? I keep getting asked every single time I do a Q&A on Instagram, oh, like, how are you coping with moving back home? How are you coping with doing long distance? How are you coping with this? And I know that those questions are coming from people who are in the same boat, and honestly guys, I wish I had an answer. But I'm avoiding answering those questions at the moment, because the answer is not well. I know that I'm moving home for like logical reasons, and I'm not moving out because I don't want to spend money on rent when I don't need to, and I also don't know where I want to live, so I don't want to buy a house yet, blah 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 blah. Maybe I want to do some traveling, maybe I want to spend a bit more time in America. I don't know, and that is still how I feel. But there's this little thing in the back of my brain that just feels like, this is going to sound so dramatic because 24 is definitely not old, baby girl, but maybe they are doing things earlier than others, but I don't know if anyone else is in the same boat. All my friends are buying houses by themselves, buying houses with their partners, getting engaged, having babies. Now truthfully, I know deep down I don't want that right now, but the fact that everyone I know is doing that and I'm moving back home to live with my parents again is really making me feel a little bit wobbly. And I'm going to be honest, I'm having a big wobble at the moment, and I just want to speak really candidly about it, because I know that there's a lot of people that follow me or watch my videos that are a similar age, and maybe through like similar circumstances or different circumstances, post uni or whatever happens, you might have to move back home to your parents, and it's very, very, very common for people to have to do that nowadays, and there's no shame in it. But I also feel like there's equally nothing wrong with being open and honest about how I'm feeling about things. And I just feel like I'm so conflicted, because I feel like the point I'm at in my life with like work and other things that I do, like even silly little things like my car or some of the things that I have, and then I'm like, I'm moving, and I know, like, it's so stupid because I know I'm doing this out of choice. Like, I'm not doing it because I have to, I know I'm doing it out of choice, but there's just something in the back of my brain that is like, girl, what are you doing? And I'm just having a massive wobble with my life at the moment. Just speaking completely candidly, I am shit scared to move back home. I'm trying to like lean into it, I'm trying to get excited about it, but this is really embarrassing. I think I'm about to cry in the gym car park. It's just a mind fuck is the only way I can explain it, and I feel like it's definitely coming across that I'm feeling a little bit effed in the brain, because I don't even think I'm speaking coherently. And I don't know if it's because when I was at uni, if you've been watching my vlogs for a while, you will know in my third year of uni / second year of my degree, I actually moved back into student accommodation because of a situation that happened, which basically just put my whole life basically on its head. I felt like an absolute fucking loser. I had to make new friends. I had to basically start again. And whilst everyone else that was sort of on my course or like similar ages to me at uni was like living with friends, moving into their final house, I was a year behind with my degree because I dropped out and chosen to do another degree. And then I was having to basically start again from a social point of view, moving back into student accommodation. Everyone I was sharing a flat with was in first year, and I actually really enjoyed that year in hindsight. But at the time, I remember feeling like, oh my God, I feel like such a loser. And it just feels like every X amount of years something happens in my life that just means I have to restart things. I don't know, man, I'm having a wobble, I'm gonna be honest. So if you are someone who's been asking me, how are you dealing with this? How are you dealing with the long distance? How are you dealing about moving back in with your parents? I'm not. Like, I'm just not. and that's the honest answer. And I just wanted to speak about it because, like I said, even if you're not in the same situation, it's very common at my age, I feel, to feel a little bit lost with things and to have a bit of a wobble and to not really know what you're doing. And that is essentially how I feel right now. You know, there's so many things that I'm excited about and I'm trying to focus on that more, but doubling up on therapy, having more therapy, but I definitely feel like I've got like a deep, I think because of what happened at uni, I think I've got like a deep rooted thing about starting again. I definitely struggle with my confidence, and I feel like the reason why I'm struggling with this is because I'm doubting myself. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to move back home and then that's just going to be it. Like, I'm just going to be at home. Everything's going to go wrong. Career's going to go down the pan. I just wanted to speak openly and honestly about that because it has been one of my most asked questions. And yeah, the answer for how I'm dealing with things is I'm not. But at the same time, therapy. And I'm trying to lean into like what's exciting about it. My mum and dad don't have a mortgage anymore. Obviously they're a lot older, so I will be able to just save a little bit more. Obviously I'll contribute towards bills, but I'll be able to save a little bit more. I'll get more time with my parents, which is obviously slay because I love my mum and dad and they are a little bit older. But then there's a little bit of me that's like, is that going to be harder living at home because I'm close to it? I don't know. And I'm not going to cry on YouTube, so I'm going to leave this little bit here. But basically I'm just trying to lean into what is exciting about this. I will have more freedom. I can, you know, maybe start looking for a place for myself. I can travel a bit more, but yeah. Life is lifing and my anxiety is anxietying. So yeah. Gorge. I'll see you at home because I need to just stop this now. You can tell I am now home. I am now back in the humble abode. But I just had to cut that clip because I was just getting too emotional. Way too emotional. And there's nothing wrong with being that emotional, but I don't want to be bawling my eyes out online. Do you know what I mean? So I just needed to stop, have a little bit more proper cry, get it all out, get those emotions out, regroup, and we've regrouped. We're back again. But I just wanted to say that I think it's, I don't know, I feel like it's important for me to share this sort of stuff because I always get messages from people, or like people just assume that I like deal with things really well or that everything's really, really, really perfect. And a lot of things in my life I'm so grateful for, and I'm very grateful for a lot of things in my life. There's also a lot of things that I don't deal with that well, and I do struggle with things sometimes, and I think it's important to share that with you guys, and especially if any of you guys are feeling similar or feeling anxious or you're going through a big change and you're struggling with it, please know when you are going through a change, it is normal to feel like uncomfortable. I think if anything it would be a bit strange if I didn't feel any kind of way about it. I also wanted to say as well, because I've never really spoken about it in depth on YouTube, and I will probably not speak about it in depth here in this vlog, but something I do touch on sometimes on Instagram because I do get asked questions about like my dad's age, because my dad is 77. I thought he was 78. He's not. Hold the doors. He's actually really young. He's gonna be 78 in September. And my parents' age is something I've always been very aware of, because when I was a kid at school, people had no issues pointing out. Someone asked me in primary school, why does your granddad drop you off at school? He doesn't, it's my dad. But thank you for that. That's very, very, very kind. And I was always very aware and made very aware of how old my parents were, because especially when you'd get onto the topic of like, oh, how old are your parents? And then I'd say their ages, and people are like, oh my God, like my grandma is like 10 years younger than your dad. I'll be like, okay, thank you, that makes me feel so much better. And I always just felt really, really, really uncomfortable about it, to the point where I do remember points at school where it would be brought up, and I just started saying at some point, I am not actually sure how old my mum and dad are, because I just felt uncomfortable by it. And that's nothing against my mum and dad. Them having me and my sister later in life, my dad already had 2 children, I've got 2 half brothers, but them having us later in life, we had a really, really, really nice upbringing, which maybe we wouldn't have had if they'd have had us earlier. My mum and dad got together a little bit later in life, not later, but a little bit later than maybe some people's parents did. And my mum like loved just Queen Deborah. I mean, she got to do so much with her life before she had me. She was like 41 when she had me, and also that's always made me feel I've never felt this pressure of I need to have kids by a certain age, and I do think that's because I've grown up with older parents. However, I do have anxiety around my parents' age, and I want to let you guys know, if you've got older parents, it's very, very, very normal. You know, we do the silly little things. We do the maths on how many Christmases we might have left or how many birthdays. At what age would we need to have children or get married in order for our parents to be there? But something that I speak about in therapy, because it is something that, especially with my dad approaching 80, I've been really, really, really struggling with it. But it's pointless, like, and I'm not saying that in a harsh way, your feelings are very valid, but I could walk out that door tomorrow morning and get hit by a bus. I'm not promised 70 more birthdays. I'm not promised to see anyone get married, and I'm 24. No one's promised anything. You could live till you're 28, you could live till some people don't even survive through their childhood. A lot of people don't survive through their childhood. And perspective is really everything, and sort of reminding myself of that and doing these like anxiety games in my brain is also no good. And I just want to enjoy being able to spend a bit more time with my parents, to be honest. So yeah, that's the roundup of that. I'm back home now. I've got a crap ton of work still to do, and it's getting dark outside, and when it gets dark my motivation goes so I'm gonna get on with my work. I'm gonna make like a quick lunch, but I won't show you. I'm just gonna do chicken sausages because can't be asked to make anything more interesting than that. And I will catch you up when I've finished doing that, because I can't get distracted, okay? But yeah, I just wanted to round that clip off because I feel like I just sort of panicked and stopped filming. So hopefully it just makes someone feel less alone. You know, you're never alone. Never. Not whilst I'm around. I'm slightly chaotic.
Coming up, one final song and they're saying they're closed. I play my last card, I know it's rushed and I'm betting it all.
Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. It's light outside, which means I'm finishing this vlog off the next day. My period pains, I came on my period just before I went to the gym, and then my period pains got really, really, really bad last night. So I was basically just knocked out after I finished doing work. And to be honest, I was still in a bit of a sad mood. So I was like, I want to try and finish the vlog on more of a high. Also, sorry, I rewatched the clip of me speaking to you when I got back from the gym. You can see the like tear streaks in my makeup, and part of me was like, I should probably refilm that, but then I'm just like, I can't be like, what is the point? It was a very just like spur of the moment conversation, and yeah, I've just decided to leave it in. But yeah, I basically did work last night, made dinner, and then monged out because I was just like dead to the world with my period pains. But I did want to update you all on like my 75 slight struggle in this vlog because it's still going on. I've actually extended it because when I was in Texas for a week, I was not able to stick to any of that. Like there was just no fucking way I was going to be able to stick to it. So I like paused it for a week, and now I'm keeping going with it. And to be honest, I think I just want to keep these habits like forever. I just want these to be like daily habits that I just stick to. And obviously it's been making me feel so much better, and just to focus on consistency has helped me so much. And especially with everything that I've got going on, like I'll be honest, since January, even since like the back end of last year, I've been really struggling, and doing this since the start of this year has helped me so much. It's just, I just feel it just helps to take the edge off of things, just being a bit more consistent with things and putting some more time into myself and looking after myself properly, which I still struggle with around launches. But generally speaking, I've been doing a lot better with looking after myself, which, yeah, like committing to this 75 slight struggle, as dumb as it sounds, has really helped me. And in terms of like aesthetics, I mentioned in my first vlog where I sort of explained what my 75 slight struggle was, which I will leave linked below, but I mentioned it in that vlog that I did have some aesthetic goals, and I've not really focused too much on them, to be honest, because I've just been busy with a lot of stuff. I've had a lot going on, and then I've just been trying to be consistent with things and not thinking about things too much, not monitoring things too much. I've done progress pictures like 3 times since I started this in January. I've not weighed myself. I don't know what I weigh. And I'm really, really, really impressed just with focusing on consistency and not even really checking in properly with how things have been going. I'm really, really, really happy with sort of the differences that I'm seeing. So I will pop in some pictures of me at the end of December to me, I think it was like last week, and there isn't a huge change, but there's no point in me doing it now because I'm on my period, so there isn't much point because my stomach is sore AF. Also a reminder that your body will fluctuate and you could look very different on your period compared to how you normally might look. There was nothing wrong with me before. There was nothing wrong with how I looked. I didn't look bad by any means, but I was uncomfortable and I wasn't being consistent with anything, and I was constantly stressed, constantly just felt inflamed, bloated. I also did put on a little bit of body fat. I'm not going to say that the whole thing is just, oh, I was so bloated and now I'm not bloated. Wow. I did drop some body fat as well. Like, I can notice it on myself. I have lost some body fat. And honestly, I'm really, 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 really pleased with how things are looking so far. I am keeping going with it. I didn't say like from an aesthetic point, I feel like I just want to keep feeling strong and feeling like nice and full, but also a little bit leaner. I feel like that's my current goal, and that was my goal in January, and that's still my goal now. And I'm really, 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 really happy with how things are going. And I just want this to sort of be a reminder that, like, if you're really sweating the small stuff, which sometimes, obviously I do online coaching, I have clients, sometimes you do need to sweat the small stuff sometimes, especially if you are like getting closer and closer to a goal, or you're already really consistent, then sweating the small stuff becomes more important. But honestly guys, start of January, I was in a place where I was so inconsistent with my food, so inconsistent with my training, so inconsistent with everything, that just having some consistency, regardless of whether every single day is absolutely perfect, just having some consistency with those 5 goals that I set myself has helped me so much mentally, but it has also led to physical progress. So for anyone that's sort of just starting out, and I spoke about this on TikTok, I feel like a lot of the advice is very now catered towards more advanced people, which is brilliant because everyone wants to be able to get the most out of their results in the gym. But for anyone that's just starting out, it can be quite overwhelming, and I feel like this just highlights the importance of working on consistency. There's no point in buying all these fancy schmancy supplements if you can't be consistent. There's no point in having the best program in the world if you can't be consistent with it. There's no point in setting yourself a step goal if you can't be consistent with it. Consistency is key, and that doesn't mean perfection every single day. It just means over time, what are you doing more often than not? If you are skipping the gym more often than going to the gym, then you are being consistent in not going to the gym. If you are going to the gym more often than skipping the gym, but there might be a few sessions that you have to skip for whatever reason, you are being consistent with going to the gym. And I think for myself, it's just been a nice reminder, because I've been in the gym for years and I did go through phases where I did need to sweat the small stuff. It's actually been quite nice to just reset, focus on the basics and focus on consistency. And I mean, the proof's in the pudding, you know. I'm feeling a lot better. I feel a lot more comfortable in myself. I'm gonna do like an updated fitness journey and probably some more fitness vlogs, so let me know if this is like topics that you're interested in. But just sort of like leaning more into my natural build, which is something I've always struggled with, because like my innings to the gym was like, my first boyfriend that I ever had used to tell me that I looked anorexic, and he was absolutely horrible to me about how small I was. And so my thing has always been trying to get as far away from that as possible. But especially over the past like year, I would say maybe like year and a half, I've sort of just realized that like it's then pushed me into this corner of chasing like this 5'2", 5'1" aesthetic of like massive legs, massive glutes, really small upper body. And like genetically, I store most of my fat on my upper body, especially in my arms and my back. I'm 5'6", I've got long femurs, and I'm really proud actually of how much muscle I've got. I think for like the length of my levers, I think the amount of muscle that I have is pretty good. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to grow more. This isn't me saying I don't want to grow any more muscle. I would love to, but I'm not putting that above me feeling comfortable anymore. And yes, sometimes it's important to push through feeling uncomfortable if you really want to grow, but I feel like I'm at that point in my fitness journey now where I'm just like, right now where I'm at, it's not worth it to me. And that doesn't mean that it'll never be worth it to me again, going through that uncomfortable phase of, you know, doing a proper bulking phase and really sticking it out and pushing through. Doesn't mean I'll never do it again, but right now I'm focusing more on the things that I really like about my body, really like about how I'm naturally built, rather than focusing so much on the things that I don't like about how I'm naturally built and trying to like change them so bad to a way that they will never look. Like my arse and my legs will never look like the arse and legs of someone that's 5'2". Not gonna happen, like just not gonna happen. And I've also come to accept I'm not really that genetically blessed when it comes to how quick I can put on muscle either. Like that is just not, it's not written in my fortune. And I'm just over being so mean to myself about it. Like my self-talk for a while about a lot of things has been horrible, and I feel like I'm like the moment I'm in right now is just being a bit kinder to myself. And this is ironic because yesterday, and to be honest last night, I've been really mean to myself about where I'm at in life. And yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I'm definitely still struggling with that, but in terms of my fitness, I feel like I'm moving forwards with that, which is nice, and I want to share some positivity in this vlog as well. But yeah, in terms of personal life, it's honestly been rough recently. Like I'm not enjoying it. We're gonna get through it. I was listening to, what was I listening to? I think it was Beyonce. I think it was from her self-titled album, Live Laugh Love Beyonce, and it's the song Ring Off, and towards the end there's like a voice in the background, and it's like, it's called going through it. You're not gonna stop, you're not gonna get stuck there, you're not gonna die, you're gonna survive. And I think that's how the song ends. And it sounds really stupid because it's just a song, but I was listening to that as I was making the beef noodles last night, and I was like, I like that. Like, it's called going through it. You're not gonna die, you're not gonna get stuck there, you're going through it. You're gonna get through it, you're gonna survive. And it might sound really dramatic, but little things like having the chair, which adds a little bit of excitement to this next chapter, helps a lot. And having said that, my chair's getting delivered on Tuesday, can't bloody wait. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a fitness update and just round off this vlog properly. I hope you've enjoyed the vlog. If there is anything that you guys want to be seeing in particular, if you want that fitness journey update video and like my current feelings about the gym and fitness and where I'm at with it, I'm thinking of doing like a little vlog of like maybe like a little glow up vlog, because I'm actually going to be changing my hair next week. I'm saying this, it might not end up looking any different. It depends how Jason wants to do it, but I do want to put a little bit more lightness back in my hair, just because naturally my hair is actually like a lot lighter than it is right now. And I just feel like my hair's just got darker and darker and darker and darker ever since I went brown, and I've loved it. Like, I really do like it, but sometimes I think, I don't know if it's a bit harsh on me. I think something softer might be a bit nicer. And it just ties into like asking myself what I actually want, asking myself what I actually want to look like, rather than thinking about anyone else. And ironic because I'm asking on Instagram, but I really am like thinking about, hang on a minute, like how do I actually want to look? And sometimes I look at myself with slightly lighter hair and I think, oh, I miss that. So yeah, I might film that and do like a little vlog, but yeah, just let me know what you guys want to be seeing over the next few weeks. One thing that always makes the Alphalete dresses worth it is seeing you guys get your orders. And so many people in the past 2 days have been sending me like full-on hauls on Instagram of like videos of them opening the packages, trying things on, giving me their opinions, being like, yeah, the fabric on this is a little bit, the fit on this is a little bit, and I love it. Like, I love it. I love that this is like the community that we've got, and we just talk about activewear, and it's so nice. And it's so, nothing makes me happier than when someone receives an order and it's like they're really, really, really happy with it, and they've taken some of my recommendations and they're happy with it. And sand, which I've literally worn in this vlog, was my most sold thing. Like the sand contour short was my most sold thing over the sale. So I just wanted to say a thank you for all your support always, because I know not all of you have Instagram, and obviously I've thanked everyone on there, but I want to thank everyone on here too. My YouTube family, I hold you guys very dear to my heart. You guys have changed my life. Like, this platform has changed my life. And yeah, as much as I definitely need to work on how I balance things, your guys' messages and like when you get your orders and like the comments that you leave just warm my heart. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, because that always just makes me feel good. I live for the external validation. But yeah, whatever you guys have done this weekend, I hope you've had an amazing weekend. I hope you have a gorgeous Sunday, and I'll see you next week for another video. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to and you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.